Hello, everyone. I am running a few minutes late. I do apologize. I had a little bit of commute today. So I'll wait a few minutes for people to join if they'd like to join the live session, as I will take questions if anybody has questions. So today's live session will be about human words, and that will include truths and the positive and negativity around words. I hope everybody's enjoying the energy shifts that we received last night. Started right around 2:05. I would say I was woken up out of a dead sleep. And as you see, I'm wearing my glasses today. I actually feel like I cannot see straight. I'm having some physical healing really enter my body, some old injuries. I have an old injury to my eyelid that has resurfaced for healing, which is awesome and amazing. So when you do vibrational work and you work on yourself and you work on others, it asks for you to bring healing into your own body. And so it's a very fun, transformational thing when it does happen. And it's always fun and exciting. You acknowledge it, you bless it, you ask it to heal you. And so it was really, really amazing. I did a couple live healing sessions on Thursday. Had some beautiful, beautiful sessions. And I like to do them face-to-face. And so I'll do them via Facebook Messenger. And for me, I kind of wonder, well, why does it have to be face-to-face? Well, humans aren't honest. And as an energy reader, I get a lot of my information from people in the physical. As an empath, I get most of my information from the physical. And today, I really had some dark energies take hold. And that always has purpose. And it really helped me to figure out what kind of information I want to bring forward. I feel like there's a lot of things that are not being spoke about. Human words being one of them. So I'll wait just here a few minutes. And if you've worked with me before, you know that I'll pay attention to what words you do use, and I'm going to replace them with more healing type words. So, and if you don't get the live video, please take a look at it later. There's going to be some great messages. I don't know what they are yet, but we'll get to them when we get there. All right. Hey, look, it's 11:11. Oh, many blessings. So, speaker down a little bit there. There we go. I hope everybody slept very well last night. Here it's about 70 degrees and gorgeous outside. And lots of wildlife in the morning, lots of birds. I get to meditate with a blue crane yesterday morning. It was very beautiful. It was awesome. I've had a lot of very close run-ins with the wildlife the past couple of days. And today's session, we're definitely going to do an energy healing because there are entities out there that we are unaware of. And if you are shining your light, they're looking for you. So kind of give you a clue as to how to get rid of those today if anybody's feeling that. All right, so If you're going to join me later in the video, please do. If you have any questions, just ask, and I'll look in the comments there. So, human words. The past few weeks, the past couple of months, I've had a really hard time shifting into the fact that I'm meant to be human. I'm ready to accept my mission on this earth to help other humans find their human birthright and find their healing space. So what that means is finding who you are. So as you decide, okay, I'm ready to stay on this planet Earth and be human, it's really important to find ourselves and find what's keeping us from ourselves. So I find that most of my foundational intuitive sessions have to do with finding self. And the way I found myself was the hard way, and doing everything I could not to find myself. You get that little bit of feeling, hey, this is me, and then I'm like, well, we're going to run from that because it's against everything I thought I was told. So, and I find too, I call these human words, and for most of you feeling it right now, when somebody says the phrase to you, but you're human, does that make you angry? It really makes me angry. No, I'm a multidimensional, metaphysical, awesome, amazing being. And please don't describe me as human. Human is not fun at all. And so I'm learning how to have these beautiful connections with spirit and with source, and then say, you know, it's okay to be human. You know, today I do have to make breakfast for myself. Today I do have to love myself, even for some of the human behaviors that we have that don't feel quite right. And so I'm looking off into the corner because I've got some light flickering. So I am going to welcome in for today's session any archangels that would like to assist and give any messages forth. So when you channel information, if you do not know how to channel, understand that you are multidimensional, which means everyone channels. Sometimes we just don't know what we're channeling or why. And as we become healthy humans and more connected with our own true spirit and souls, you will get information. Now, this is where human words come in. There aren't any. I've found that the English language does not have, it really misses a lot of words. I feel like somebody will ask me, you know, well, how do you're having this new sensation, how do you explain it? And I feel like I could just gather a ball of energy in my heart and just push it at somebody. And I know many times that I've felt, you know, kind of like if you're watching a video and you just want to send somebody love, you know, you don't have, there's no amount of words to come up with that feeling to transfer from your heart to theirs. So one thing I really, really want to focus on today is the truth, human words in defining who we are and our truths. So, and from my own personal life, and I will call this out today because I've had a negative entity getting into trying to take some of my light. And so as a being of light, it's my important to shine light on darkness. Somebody brought out that there's something called duality, and that it's okay to have darkness and light. And we can honor the darkness, but you do have free will. So you can focus on what you choose to focus on. So that brings us to truths. Are we saying things that are true? Do we think about what our truth is before we speak it out of our mouth? So if you are having those throat chakra healings and imbalances, so that would be when you go to say something and you start coughing, it gets caught in your throat. That's Spirit's way of saying, no, maybe let's rethink this, rephrase it, let it be said. And so part of using your inner divination tools is, have you ever felt that dread of knowing you're going to have a conversation and then feeling like your throat is literally choking you? Rethink this. Think about what these words mean to you. how will your words be received? If you know that something you're going to say out of your mouth is something that you will later have to apologize for, think about whether it's valuable enough for you to let those words loose. And so the words that we say actually tell us who we are. There are people that have many words, many human words, and they really have nothing to say. And that's okay. They're in a different stage of healing. And then there's people that say very few words, particularly some of the good old boys, some of the old timers, I would say, that have the best stories. They don't say much, and the meaning behind them is there. And so part of speaking our truth and saying authentic words that mean something to us and the other person receiving the words is understanding that the words can still feel very uncomfortable if the person hearing them isn't ready to hear that. So this has happened several times for me. And I have also found that if it doesn't feel right, it isn't true. So that goes into what kind of words are you speaking into your life? Are you speaking truth into your life? Are you voicing your limiting beliefs every day? Are you keeping your spirit stifled with your words? And so this week in a few sessions, I was guided to work with a few clients on their I am presence. And so your I am presence is a great way to heal yourself very swiftly. And it really helps get you balanced out because these are your truths. And sometimes you have to fake your truths. And I love faking it till you make it because you know within a shadow of a doubt who you are. You may or may not believe it yet. And so it's my job to help people believe in themselves and who they are. This is something that I've had an issue with most of my life, and it's not that I didn't believe in myself, but I didn't have a lot of support. And even when I did have support, I didn't know how to acknowledge it. And I've always had a lot of guidance. I've always had a lot of angelic guidance. But I never felt comfortable enough in sharing it. And so as I continue to speak my truth, work with people, and allow myself to be vulnerable and bring out messages, I feel a lot better. In fact, a lot of my neck tightness has gone away. A lot of my physical pain in my body is getting better. And so I'm going to continue to do it. And I noticed that a lot of humans are allowing others to penetrate their energy. What that means is, let's say somebody you're close to says something about you that isn't true. You hear it and you want to get defensive and you want to fight it. This happened to me last week, and it was very public and it was very raw, and it was very somebody else saying something about you shows who they are. But the other people around them think, oh, let's attack that other person. And this happened in a healing group. And I've cut myself off of most of the healing groups. In fact, my favorite dating coach, I love him, but he's connected with somebody that is actively trying to hurt me right now. And I see the entity that's attached to this, and I've seen myself even having a hard time, not feeling like shouldn't others be able to see that this is a lie? It's blatantly obvious to me, but when others attack you or other people, calling them out does nothing. It gives them power. They're looking for a reaction. So the best thing for you to do is to get into your I am presence and speak truth into your life. And it's funny how even the most advanced healers still hold on to words of lower vibration. So there's a few human words that really just don't sit well with me. Number one would be the word try. So when you tell somebody, this is what I need, whether you're at work or whether a friend asks for advice and you say, you know, I want you to try doing this for yourself. Try is not it's not an action. Try is a excuse word. It is kind of a bait and switch word. It says, don't pay attention to what I'm doing. Hey, let's talk about the weather kind of word. That's a good way for somebody to deflect and say, you know what, I'm really not going to heal right now, so I've got better things to do. And I kind of like wallowing in my own self-pity. So when somebody says try, I'm kind of like, ooh, yeah, let's pull that back in, because when you say that word, you give it the energy of, I am not good enough to receive healing. And that's very unfortunate, because that's usually when I know when to ask the right questions. You know, I can recognize when somebody is not ready to heal. And I love healing. I love being able to help people transform very quickly and get into their divine energy and their real healing bubble. And you know, I've done this for myself and many times over. And I've been put through so much in order to learn how to really be able to do this in the worst possible situations. And so try is a word. I want you to catch yourself. If you say it, stop saying it. Put in an action statement there. Instead of saying, I'm going to try to lose weight, say, I am losing weight. This is what I'm doing. This is how it is. And you will see that just that little shift in changing that human word, because we let it speak our truth. And we mustn't. Because our truth, our soul truth, is our vow to ourselves. So in order to love ourselves, our vow has to be, I am healing, I am health, I am divine. Any of those I am God, goddess, I am the embodiment of the picture of health. That will shift your healing so quick. My number two word that it just gets me every time is the word but, B-U-T. It has use in the English dictionary, in English language. But think about what you are doing, and I just use the word but think about what comes after. My favorite phrase is when somebody says, I love you, but I can't stand you. Or I love you, but everything you're doing is wrong. So that is another word that projects. It projects negativity. And so I like to interchange the word but with and. I love you, and you'll catch yourself, because you want to say but and you want to say something nasty after it. You say, I love you, and I love you. Or I love you, and I'm so glad you're in my life. And so catch yourself when you're saying that word. I have found that there's really nothing good after that. And then I found that if you remove the word but, then however comes in, because you're like, well, I'm just going to use however. But that means you're not saying a truthful statement. And so all of our words have a high vibration. And understand too that each word means something to a different person. And so the word crazy, you know, I get some personal friends that they still haven't shifted their words, and I love it how I'm still considered that crazy friend. You know, I consider myself that multidimensional human that doesn't care what people think anymore. I don't care what the restrictive community of humans that are very restricted in their thought processes, I don't care what they think. And in fact, I want to welcome on the other crazies, you know, but I don't like to use that word. Awesome and amazing, those work well for me. Also the word weird, I prefer to say awesome, amazing. So when you have that new experience in life, You know, and for those who've been sharing their dreams with me, because I have some wild dreams that are very prophetic, but they're very prophetic in a they're very, very prophetic in a metaphorical way. So they're not direct, and they make absolutely no sense. But when you say, this is a metaphor for this, well, that makes perfect sense. And so I do like that. I do like when somebody says, hey, something weird happened. I'm like, how about something awesome happened? You know, and if you do join, please send me a hello so I know that you're here. I've seen somebody pop on there. And so I had this new vibration come in today, and then I had a, so when I have a new vibration come in, yes, and right now is the time to say it. So when I have a new vibration come in, it is a higher frequency and angelic type. Today it came in, I think a few commented that they felt it come in. It's gone now, but it lasted about 6 hours this morning. And it was about 12,000 hertz. It was higher on the angelic realms that I've heard before. And I find that when I get these downloads of information, there's also the counter energy. And so I will share that with you. I took an intuitive call. I have a service that calls me when people need my guidance, and if they're in an emergency situation. And I had this person call, and it's almost like the devil was coming through the phone. She wanted me to remote view for her, which I can do if necessary. But there's something to be learned from that session. There's something to be learned from being able to see situations, because we all have free will. We can't control another human being. And she really wanted ill will on somebody. And so I'm going to open up that to speak my truth. And my truth is that in my own personal life, and I didn't want to put this on my personal Facebook, but I do have one of my 70 friends that is a fake. It's a made-up profile. I have not been able to block him yet, but I know that he will watch this video, so I will say hello, because I haven't figured out what it is that he's trying to do. But I know that I would say the same thing that I would say to the devil if he came to me. We can go out and have a good time, but I'll kiss you on the cheek and say goodbye and leave with everything I came with, which is my energy. So understand that when you start to shift into some of these higher energies and you start speaking your truth, when you start using your human words with the power that they contain, you will have these opposing forces that will come to you, and they will visit you, and they will give you greater understanding. So it was very important for me to bring that to the collective attention, because I want to tell you that you are not crazy. And it is a test. It is a test, because many that are out there, even light workers, are not of love and light. And they are trying to attach to our energy. And the reason for that is they cannot create it themselves. So it is my job to help as many sensitive people, as many people that feel really lost right now. It's my job to activate you into your own healing so that you can fight these dark forces, because they will come. And you won't know they're there. And so what I'm going to tell you to protect yourself, specifically on Facebook, do not give information to anybody on Messenger that you have not heard their voice or seen their face in person. So with some of my clients, I'll send voice messages. And if you are on my friends list, if you're lucky enough to see into my personal life, and you know that we have friends in common, and you get a strange Facebook request, a friend request, know that that could be somebody trying to attach to somebody else you know. I had this happen this last week. A friend said I had a weird Facebook request. And then I looked up. It's actually not that hard to do. But when you come to the knowledge and the truth, because right now, Right now, we are going through a lot of healing, and a lot of healing has to do with the way we treat ourselves. So if you remember that your truth is your vow, and when you think about saying something about somebody else, understand that anything you say about anybody else, that is not your truth. The only truth you can tell is yourself. That is it. The only truth you have is your own. And if you're afraid of that truth, figure out what that fear is. Transmute it. Nobody can speak for you or your body. Nobody can speak for your spirit. And then ask yourself, am I speaking from my truth? Am I speaking from my spirit? And if you don't know what that is, find out what it is. And behind that, you will find soul purpose. And recognize as you heal and you create this beautiful healing energy, and you start attracting, because as you start speaking your truth and you start just really living that beautiful, happy energy, others will be jealous of it. But they'll also wonder how you created it. How did you create that? So the healing I do on other people, when I do energy healing, it doesn't come from me. We all have our own energy field. But the healing that we create for ourselves is the most important. And we can use our human words for that. So when you write something, and this is another thing that I'm going to tell you about energy. So let's say you're having an argument with a spouse and you're texting back and forth. Make sure all those negative words, they're deleted. And then think about, how can I use my vow, my human words, to not put something out there that I have to delete? The sense of duality is that we have to have good and bad. I had a client that I had to block because he wanted to vent, and we recognized the block, and then he went on and on about how much he hates his mother and what a terrible human being she is. And to me, that's not conducive for healing. And I don't need to hear those things, because as an empath, I can feel the negative lava coming off of his tongue. I had to block him. And that's the best way to protect your energy. If you're an empath, I want you to block that. As you start speaking truths to yourself and getting that inner guidance and that inner love going, you will learn not to allow yourself to lie to yourself. And so I challenge you to every day get in your I am presence and speak it out loud to yourself. You can say things like, I am divine, I am beauty, I am ascension, I am one, I am God, I am divine feminine, divine masculine, I am creator. Use those I am words to attune you to attract the things that belong to you. A lot of people don't understand that with the law of attraction, the word being your vow, the law of attraction is just one of many universal laws. When you use the law of attraction to attract something good to you, you will also attract all the restrictions that lie between you and your manifestations. So when you are talking about yourself, it's okay to be honest, but do not speak or write if it's negative, unless you wish to attract more negative. And understand, when you say things that are untrue, even if you think they're true, when we throw shade on other people, we are opening that energy to come into us. And so every word has a certain vibration. And if you want to look up higher vibrational words, words of love, words of preparation and appreciation. They're preparing you to speak love and light into your life. And also, when you get an energy that feels dark, also send love at that. Acknowledge it, soul-to-soul acknowledgement, like I've talked about before, and send it merrily on its way and say, you cannot live here. This is a place of light and love. And this is really going to help you seal up your energy. But also, you're going to have more connection with other humans that are of light. And you will also recognize when somebody's not ready to heal. So if you are a healer, this is really going to help you be able to stand back and say, okay, you know, and you can help, you know, if you're a coach, you know, if you want to have your clients emit these words, this helps the quickest get people to connect and say, that's not a truth. That's not your truth. And I found that I can't heal everything. And I've also found that the more and more I put my truths out there, I am not a target. But I also think that people are as honest as I am. And there are many people out there that are only as honest until the truth is out, until you find out the lie. And so I really challenge you to live the truth, live your truth, and speak your truth when you're ready. When you speak your truth, you heal me. When I speak my truth, I heal you. And I do hope that if you watched this video, you loved it. I also hope that when the entity that is attached to the human that feels the need to push and interject negativity on me, I hope they can name themselves and go along their merry way and attach to somebody else, because it isn't welcome here. And I would challenge you that when you feel that, ask Archangel Michael to come in. Allow him to cut those ties for you. And don't let that hurt you for more than a few seconds. Don't let that feeling penetrate your shield, your armor. And start healing yourself. I invite you today to start healing yourself. You can do this all yourself. So I'm going to go ahead and end the video. Namaste, everybody. Thank you for your time.